All right, welcome everyone to Market Simulation Call for Summer 2021 release. My name is Anshuman Vaidya. I'm your Market Simulation Coordinator, and today is June 10th. Calls and webinars are recorded for stakeholder convenience, allowing those who are unable to attend to listen to the recordings after the meetings. The recordings will be publicly available on the ISO webpage for a limited time following the meeting. The recordings and any related transcriptions should not be reprinted without the ISO permission. We'll follow the following agenda today. We'll talk about map stage availability. We'll talk about Summer 2021 release market simulation initiatives and timelines. Then we'll talk about the initiatives separately. We'll go through the known issues and then a quick reminder about the system interface changes that are coming with Summer 2021. And then we'll talk about next steps. So map stage availability, you can get up-to-date information from portalmap.kaiser.com. As you can see that we had a cyber outage right now that's going on. We had an urgent patch that needed to go in for phase 3. So we have a small outage today, and then we have a scheduled maintenance on tomorrow also. OMS UI and API outage from 624 to 628. Any questions regarding the map stage availability?
Yes, Anshuman, this is Isaac SE. So, map stage hasn't been available for us since yesterday afternoon. And we have some scenarios that we would like to test today. So the scenario we were testing yesterday was not complete. The scenario that we're looking to test today got postponed. I just got an update that it's getting postponed even more. And we were kind of scheduling a scenario to test tomorrow. So if cyber is not available, then we can perform those tests.
I see. Let me work on that, Isaac, and I'll give you an update on it. Let me see if we can push this maintenance from tomorrow to some other day. And let me get back to you on that one. And regarding the ADS outage, I'm sorry, one of our servers got shut down yesterday, and we had an outage for that. We brought back the ADS today morning, and it's been working fine after that. So thank you for bringing that up.
But according to the market SME, since cyber is not unavailable right now, he cannot execute a scenario. Is what
I agree. And
Hi, Chang is here also. And just a quick update on cyber. I'm sorry I joined late, so I didn't hear the beginning, but cyber is back now as well. And so I just had to note out on that. And then go ahead, Anshuman and Isaac, please continue.
So I just got a
question. Go ahead, Isaac.
I just got an email from Cheng Si at 2 o'clock saying that the cyber patch failed and he cannot execute a scenario we had requested for today yet.
Yeah, and I just did to him on that one as well. So my understanding is it's back now. That issue is resolved, and I've asked the internal team to check and just confirm, and then reach out and let you know, Isaac, on that same thread, that it is back. You feel free to retry, but I wanted them to confirm before we sent the message to your broader team to retry.
Oh, I mean, I'm waiting for you guys to execute a scenario. So my side ought to be in there. So.
Okay, sure. I'll ping him right now as well to see if we can still run that for today.
Okay, sounds good. But for tomorrow, we were planning to have some testing as well. And with cyber down, I need to submit bids for tomorrow in order for that scenario to be executable. So I'll need to, if we're not doing it tomorrow, then I'll need a day next week to do it, which, you guys, yeah. So we have enough time for testing is basically what I'm getting at here.
Right, Isaac. So tomorrow should be fine to test the cases. It's just that we will not be settling tomorrow's trade date. We are just settling 6.7, 6.8, 6.9, and 6.10.
Understand, but even if we executed test cases tomorrow, we still need time to validate the instructions, right? And
Right.
And which means that we won't be able to, if we have any problems that we've encountered, then there won't be an opportunity to work through that with KaiSo before go live. So, which is why I think we're not really in support of the stage 2 going live on the 15th.
I agree, Isaac, and we are here to support all your testing, even tomorrow, so there's no problem. Please go ahead and test.
Hi, Anshuman. This is Chunyu from PG&E. Yes, you know that we have been having trouble since yesterday afternoon for CMRI and ADS. I just checked, look like the cyber has come up, but just prior to that, at 2:04, because we have been submitting bids, and me saying they're getting no open market for the real-time bid message. So just want to let you know. And is it possible so market is running, if we continue to bid into the market, it will be getting awards and for the next few hours we have here?
Yes, I assume you should keep getting the awards as like a normal day. Since cyber is up now, there should be no problem that I can see moving forward.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions regarding map stage availability?
Yeah, actually. Hi, Anushman.
Hi, Nora. Go ahead.
So I wanted CMRI is down, map stage, right?
It should be up now. It's actually, it came back up around 11 o'clock.
CMRI? And master file, GenRGT, IRGT, the API is available. We're getting errors when we're running.
Yeah, thanks, Nora. So I think Anshuman might have explained that we had some infrastructure type issues that impacted map stage, and Masterfile was one of those that was reported also. And I've had another customer reach out, and I confirmed it's back up, and then they are able to access. So I'm not sure when you retried, but that was within the last hour or so. So it should be resolved. So if you wouldn't mind trying again, and then if there's still an issue, please let me know.
Okay.
Hi, this is Chris. I'm with Nora's group in PG&E.
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
just tried file API. It's still not it looks like the API is up, but it's still not returning any data. It's returning null. The API.
All right. Okay, and this is for Masterfile, correct?
It's the request retrieve generator RDT and intertie RDT. Those two APIs.
Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and check on that. So again, no issues with the UI to report at this point, but then the API, you're seeing getting any data.
Yeah,
okay, I'll check.
API. It's API.
Okay, but the UI is returning data for you?
I saw the UI come up, but I haven't tested anything in the UI. I'm testing through the API, and so far the API, until today morning, the API was returning an error. I've created a CD ticket for that already, but right now it's not returning any error. It just returns null. That's it. It's not returning any data.
Okay. Sure. So Nora and Chris, I'll go ahead and take a look at that issue, and then I will let you know when to retry the API. Okay?
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Trang, for the update. Any more questions regarding map stage availability?
I have a question related to map stage, but it's not related to availability. It's about a new functionality that's supposed to be in map stage and going live on June 30. Can I ask that now, or is it a different R?
Well, we will be covering projects, but since you brought the topic up, let me bring the timelines and then, yeah, go ahead.
So there is this CMRI functionality storage operating limit. There are no specifications, there are no specs, tech specs available. The interface spec just states the request object and the response object. It doesn't give what are the values in the request and response object. So we're designing things from the XSD class that was published in developer.kaiso. And I don't see any data for this in map stage as well. Could you tell us which menu item which UI corresponds to this particular functionality storage operating limit? And is the data available in map stage for this?
So for the functionality that is going live June 30, I don't think we have the code yet. We're still doing the end-to-end testing, but Trang might be able to provide you more information regarding the tech specs.
Yeah, and is this Chris? Just confirming.
Yes, this is Chris. Yeah, it's
okay.
Chris.
Thank you, Chris. So what I have tracked for CMRI for RA enhancements, the storage operating limit, is that we plan to have that available in map stage by next week. And as far as the tech spec goes, I know that we did publish a tech spec in April, but I'll check in on the artifacts as well as let you know the UI tab that it's under. So if you give me a few minutes, I'll try to give an update before the end of the call on that.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
All right, any other questions? Okay, so let's talk about the market simulation initiatives and timelines for summer 2021. We are still working through the unstructured testing that market participants are doing for summer readiness phase 2. We are also started doing end-to-end testing for phase 3. We have received partial code for resource adequacy enhancements track 1, and we have received the full code for summer readiness for phase 3. So we're working through the end-to-end cases for them, and we are still trying to open up the market for market participants on 6/14. Any questions regarding the timelines?
Yeah, hey, this is Isaac with SC. Just wondering that the June 15 production go live date for phase 2, it's very rushed for us, and we're not in support of that. So there's still a question mark whether or not the scenario will be performed today will happen, and then also the scenario for tomorrow. There's some uncertainty there as well. So our preference is to push that out to June 30th.
Isaac, thank you for your input. And I believe we'll have a QRB today, and we'll let you know what the QRB decides, and a notification will be sent out based on the results of the QRB. Regarding FERC Order 831.
Can I ask a question, Anshuman, before you go on? You say you're going to have a QRB today for the summer 2021 readiness phase 2?
That is correct. No, sorry, just to confirm, I think for production, if we're referring to production, then our FERC 831 board is meeting today, and then we're planning on meeting for summer readiness tomorrow. If we're referring to production.
Yes, thank you for
question. Okay.
Thank you.
So, Frank, do you want to update us regarding the QRB for FERC Order 831?
It is still underway. There hasn't been a final decision yet. Okay. That's happening today. Okay.
All right. Any questions regarding the initiatives and timelines?
I have a question, Anusman. It's
Go ahead, Nora.
yeah, it's about it really bothers me. It's about the rock under supply in feasibility market, Oasis report. It doesn't have any XSD. Even I want to go and pull XML. There is no data on the market map stage. It just. I will open ticket if there is any known issue. Let me know, please. It's just no way to actually even design any.
I see. Nora, is it related to the summer readiness phase 3 or phase 2?
Let me see.
It looks like for the undersupply, that for Oasis, that's for RA enhancements.
It is already,
Is that
yeah.
Yeah, and that's planned to start markets next week. So we are currently running our end-to-end. So as far as the availability of the report and the data itself, we're anticipating having that by the beginning of next week. By the 15th is what our target was for that.
You mean in map stage?
Yes.
Data, the report is there, but the report is like empty. There is no. So you're saying next week you will fill out the data, right? You will publish the data.
Yes.
And so I opened ticket on XSD. I couldn't find. It points me master V5. I go there. There's nothing. It points. Yeah. So can I open ticket, or is there any quick way to help us? I just need to like XSD for this particular report. That's it.
Yeah. So Nora, I did take a note to follow up with the SME on that, but I always recommend a ticket just to make sure that it doesn't, that this issue gets tracked, and we have that trail as well. But I will be following up even before I get that city, okay?
I will do that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Trang, for the update.
Yeah.
Any other questions that we can discuss here?
I'm sorry to go back to Isaac's question about the scenario and the market stability in order to support the scenario. So I did reach out to Chengxi, and so since Cyber is available, we're working on getting the bits flowing there, and he feels like it's still possible to be able to run that scenario late today. And we'll continue to coordinate with you offline, Isaac, but we are still attempting to run that today.
Thanks for the update.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Any other thoughts, questions that we can ask question here?
Yeah, Inchman, this is Chen Yu. I probably just sent an email to you and Chen Qi because we also need to run the exceptional dispatch for RDRR scenarios. I don't know how late you're going to have the tight system condition. I mean, understand normally it's from noon to 5. So I just want to let you know that we have a request there. If possible, we will prefer to run it today, if that's okay. And my second question is that, okay, for the next week, market sim, we know there are some structure scenarios out there Kaiser want to run, but I don't think we have a trade day being identified yet. So do you have a plan to do that soon?
I don't have the trade day yet, Chunyu, for the scenarios that we'll be running next week, but I surely would have that on the next call.
Okay. And also for the, yeah, go ahead.
And regarding the testing for the scenario for phase 2 that you sent us a request, we'll definitely try to run that scenario today.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions that we can discuss here? All right. Moving on. Go ahead.
Just an info. So the request generator, the generator API of Masterfile is returning data now. I'm going to start intertie testing. Just want to confirm whoever was working on it. It's starting to return data.
Yeah, that's the update that I had here too. So thanks for retrying that. And then I'll check on the right for you.
Intertie, I haven't tested it. Yeah, intertie, I'm in the middle of invoking it, so we'll see that. Storage operating limit, do let me know once you get the data. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for the update, Chris and Trang. Moving on to the scenario descriptions, it's the same slide, there are no changes here. We have the upcoming RA phase 2 testing next week, and then we'll do summer readiness phase 3 testing next week. So the scenarios are listed here that we plan to run at that time. Any questions regarding the scenario descriptions?
Hi, Ashwin. This is Ray calling from PG&E. I do have a question. For scenarios 4 and 5 from RA enhancements, I have 2 questions. How often are you going to be running the minimum state of charge constraint? Is it going to be every day for the next 2 weeks? And at what times for those 2 scenarios?
That's a great question, Isaac. I don't have the details yet, as we are still doing the end-to-end testing on it. As we identify any defects or any issues with the software, we're just working through those right now. And as soon as we are done with that and we have fixed everything and end-to-end scenarios are planned more in detail, I will let you know probably by the next call of what time we're going to simulate these scenarios.
Okay, thanks, Ashwin. My second question is in regards to scenarios 4 and 5 as well. It's about the structured scenarios that you guys published. In the KISO action, it said that you guys would run the settlements and provide statements. Is that what is still planned for? Are we expecting statements to be checked by market participants for scenarios 4 and 5?
As per the information I have, Isaac, there is no specific change for settlement for these scenarios. It's more of a regression testing and like end-to-end testing that we recommend market participants to do, that you submitted the bids and then you see the results on the settlements. But as per my current information, I don't have information regarding any new charge codes that are related to this functionality.
Okay, thanks, Ashwin. I just want to make sure, this is Ray from PG&E. I don't want to I just want to confuse between me and Isaac in case there's any.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I just don't want to make sure there's any emails sent over to Isaac by accident for my questions. Thank you.
Got it. I will send it to you. All right. Any other questions that we can discuss here? Okay, moving on. So for quarter 831, as it was already mentioned in this meeting, that we're going to have a QRB today. The structured testing for this project is complete, and all the documents regarding the structured scenarios and business requirement specifications are available on the link here. We also have some more information like customer training on the ISO Learning Center that you can go and look for to get to know more details about this project. Any questions that we can talk about here for quarter 831? Okay, moving on. For summer readiness 2021, we are still performing the scenarios, or I should say type system conditions today. For this trading date, we have completed the structured scenarios for this project last week. and we are hoping to complete all the unstructured testing that market participants are doing by this week. And as the update given earlier, that we will be having a QRB tomorrow for this particular project. Any questions from market participants about this project? All right, one more point I want to add that, again, we'll start the phase 3 market simulation structured scenarios next week. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, just a quick question about the QRB. How do you intend to distribute the results, the conclusions reached at that meeting tomorrow?
So we will send an announcement regarding that, and I will also send out an email with all the registered participants regarding that results of the QRB.
Appreciate it, thanks. And what time is that meeting?
I'll have to check that. Somebody from CAISO wants to update me on that one.
So again, is this about the review for the production readiness of summer 2021?
Yes, Ryan.
Okay, so that review is happening tomorrow afternoon. And our intent is to send out a customer notice as well ahead of the activation to announce and confirm the activation date. And that applies to FERC 831 as well as the summer readiness. So in addition to instruments communication for those participating in market simulation, we'll also send broader communications as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Trang.
So that
Any
almost,
other questions?
well, that almost implied that the decision had already been reached. I just want to make sure that there is a decision point tomorrow and that it's not already a foregone conclusion about the actual readiness for summer 2021.
Yes, so the final decision has not been made yet. We still have our standard process of the quality review board that's happening tomorrow afternoon. Does that help, or were there any other questions on that?
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Trang. Any other questions that we can talk about here for summer readiness? All right.
Are we firm on June 30 production go live as of now?
For phase 3, yes.
For some 2021 release, yes.
So we have divided it in 2 phases, 3 phases, phase 1, 2, and 3, and phase 1 and 2 is currently planned to go on June 15th. And that's the decision that will be taken up in the QRB tomorrow.
Okay, no, I'm talking about the June 30 release. There's one on June 30, right?
Right. So that's phase 3. We're still doing the end-to-end testing, but June 30 is the planned date.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't taken a final decision yet on that if we'll be moving to production on that date.
Okay, when would you be coming to the finalization on that one?
So we'll do this end-to-end testing, and then, there is a whole lot of process. Like, we will do the end-to-end testing, then we'll have a QRB for market simulation. We'll do the market simulation, and based upon the results of market simulation and end-to-end testing, then we'll have a QRB for production, and that's when we'll decide the final date. We are hoping to go live by June 30 for phase 3.
Okay, so you don't have a go no go meeting to this. I'm trying to find out if the date is confirmed, because in previous circumstances, normally right before a long weekend, they postpone it. That's happened several times before during Thanksgiving and those weekends. So I'm just trying to find out when is your go, no-go meeting where you decide, okay, we're going live on this day, so we can plan things accordingly here. We have our releases scheduled as well, so we need to plan our releases accordingly to your release.
This is Adrian. I can speak on that one. As you know, initially this part, the phase 3 was scheduled for June 15th. We realized some components are not feasible for June 15th, so our legal filed with FERC to extend the implementation timeline for that for that phase 3, right? And in that letter to FERC, we said we're going to try to do it by June 30. That's our target. Now, if all the testing passes and market participants have no issues and end-to-end, all the quality criteria for this deployment goes well, then we can deploy on June 30th or even earlier if everything goes well, right? And I think we have to keep in, because at this point we can't make a firm decision unless we have all the results of the quality of the product and testing and satisfaction of our customers and so forth, right? We can't make a decision now. We have to wait for all those things to happen, and we can go, live on the 30th as planned or earlier in case everything goes well, or we can even go beyond the 30th. I think FERC will let us implement up until July 30th. But the target as of today is June 30th.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian, for the update. All right. Any other questions that we can talk about here for summer readiness?
Hi, Instrument. This is Chanyu. I just want to emphasize that for the next phase of testing, if you have environment outage, I think it will be really beneficial for the market participants that we know ahead of time. For example, the cyber off today, it was totally unexpected. It was communicated earlier. It was only going to be June 11th, but now we have the June 10th. I understand it came back, but it's just that some of the bids we put in early, it's just not having any returns. So just want to reemphasize this because we don't have a lot of time for testing, and it is really crucial to for CAISO to communicate. If you're going to take the environment down, please let us know. So some of the bids we put in earlier were just being wasted in the effort.
Definitely, Junyu, and I apologize for the outage on cyber today. It was an urgent patch that we needed to get in, but I take your point, and if we're going to have any urgent patch like that, I'll make sure that the communication goes out to the market participants about the outage. And we'll also update the portal map.kaiso.com with the new outage information.
Right, because we already have the ADS, the CMRI, those probably you can't really have much control, but like cyber, you had control. I mean, if you need to take an outage, maybe take it end of the day instead of in the middle of testing. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll make sure that we do that. All right, any other questions that we can take here for summer 2021 readiness? All right, moving on. For resource adequacy enhancements, track 1, we have completed phase 1 testing. Phase 2 is scheduled to start next week by June 15th. Business requirements, specification document, and structured scenario documents are available here. For map stage, we have moved the showing period back to 24 hours last week. And the production RACS was activated last Monday. We have received the we have received the code for phase 2 in map stage. Currently, we are doing end-to-end testing on that. We have identified a few minor defects that we're trying to get the fixes on before we start market simulation next week for this particular project. Any questions regarding RA enhancements track 1? All right, I'll move on. This is a quick reminder about the OMS summer release timeline. There are no changes from last time in here.
Actually, Anshuman, there are adjustments here too that we wanted to announce. So I have Sandy on the line as well. And basically the update is that we, for the remaining OMS changes across RAE and OSI, we had those coming in 2 separate drops, with the first being available next week, and then the second being the end of July. We've decided based on where we are now to consolidate those releases for all of the remaining OMS items, so those 4 for RA and then the 1 for OSI. And we're to minimize the outage in the map stage environment as well, and consolidate the deployments and the testing. We're going to make all of those available in map stage by the 28th, and then into production July 12th. Those are our targets. And Sandia, thank you for putting that plan together. Do you have anything else to add? No, that was all great. Thank you, Trang. Yeah.
Great, thank you for the update, Trang and Sandia. Any questions here?
This is Ray from PG&E again. So just to be clear, we're only testing scenarios 3, 4, and 5 for RA enhancements phase 2, because I know that prior to the change, everything else was scheduled to start next week, but now we're for market sim focusing just on the RA enhancements. It will only be those 3 structures and any unstructured dealing with the minimum state of charge, correct? Nothing else with web OMS at all.
So I think there is one scenario number, let me get that.
Yeah, outages already started, cannot be extended, right?
Right. So scenario 3,
okay.
That's part of OMS, and that's also, we're planning to test that around 6/17. Is that correct?
That's going to be pushed out to the to after 28th, because
okay,
that's what
also going to be pushed out.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what Trang was saying. We'd have one consolidated drop, which has both the prevention of the extension and the prevention of the expansion piece. That is increase in curtailment.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I didn't catch that part, but that makes sense then. So it will only be scenarios 4 and 5 for phase 2 testing in Market Sim as of now.
Yes.
Okay.
And scenario 3
thank you, everyone.
Tested on 28th of June.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Anshuman, this is Chanyu. So clarification. So sounds like the next phase just really focused on the minimum state of charge. Is that correct for both RA and summer?
That is correct. Yes, Chanyu.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions that we can talk about here?
Yes, just real quick. May I ask, because we know we're going to be asked this question by our business. May I ask why the outage already started and cannot extend it scenario is being pushed so much later?
Sandhya, could you give us an update on that one?
Yes, sure. So a couple of different reasons. We evaluated the number of iterations we have for Market Sim. We to also take this patch through security testing, and which means there will be downtime in the map stage environment for participants. Given that you have already had some downtimes and some unexpected surprises, we wanted to minimize the any disturbances to the current flow. And since it's one scenario, it would make more sense for us to give you one patch for testing both the extension and the expansion piece.
I see. Thank you.
Sure.
Perfect. Anything else we can discuss here? All right, moving on. So we had 4 known issues that we discussed in the last meeting. Out of that, 2 known issues regarding the FERC 831 has been fixed and deployed on map stage. And we are still getting more details on this item number 3 and 4 regarding the RA enhancements, OSS, and CMRI defects. Any questions regarding the known issues? All right, moving on. So this is a reminder about the system interface changes that are coming with the new projects of summer readiness, RA enhancements, and FERC 831. Trang, do you have an update here on system interface changes?
Sure. So just starting from the top, for Masterfile for summer readiness, that deployment is in progress in production today. This will be for the GRDT and IRDT, as well as you should see revisions of our publications of the final RDT and IRDT definitions, as well as the spreadsheets. Updates here. So we have the OASIS for summer readiness that was previously shown targeted for production by June 30th. So we do anticipate to have that available by the 6/15 activation or for summer readiness. So that's updated here. For RA, we have CMRI and OASIS, and this is what I referred to earlier, which shows the expectation for map stage to be to have data by the 15th. And then I will also confirm the UI for the storage operating limit data as well in the tab. And I'll add that here as well as reach out to Chris. Other adjustments here are, of course, Sierra and OMS already in production for RA. The last 2 OMS items for RA will be combined, and those both reflect the new targets of 628 for map stage and then 712 for production. For FERC 831, we do have the update there for the cyber tech specs, the ceiling for the API to be published by the 21st. The LPA MRIS tech spec was published, and then for OSI, those OMS changes align with the RA OMS changes to be available in map stage 628 and then production 712. So this should be pretty accurate as of now.
Perfect. Thank you, Trang, for the update. Any questions regarding the system interface changes?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Nora.
Go ahead, Nora.
Okay. Regarding FERC 831 for cyber data UI selling, energy bid selling, and messages, right? So you say UI will be in production 6/15 and tech specs 6/21 for API. Do you have any approximate dates for timelines when it will be in map stage, the API? Any this year, next year? Just want to ballpark.
Yeah, thanks, Nora, for the question and your understanding that would the API would come after FERC 831. We do anticipate it to be this year. And as far as the schedule, I don't want to. I'd rather wait for the schedule to be built out for before we put that in the presentation.
So sometime this year, then. Okay.
That's our target at this point. And then once we get the tech spec and then additional schedule details built out, we'll continue to communicate via the normal forums. So we'll leave this on the list in all of the normal forums and provide updates there.
Thank you so much. That helps.
Okay, thanks. Were there other questions on this?
A comment. This is Chris from PG&E. Hi, Trang. So the intertie RDT has also started working right now, the API. It returns data and the UI returns data. well. So Masterfile is a good stage, the API and UI. The storage operating limit, will you be giving me those details before end of this call, or would you be sending me an email?
I will be sending you an email. I've been trying to juggle on this side, and I think it's better just after the call. I'll send you an email, as well as I'll update this before Instrument sends out publishes the presentation, so that anybody can reference that detail as well. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Perfect. Any more questions regarding system interface changes? All right, moving on. We have next conference on June 14 at 2 p.m. Now I'll open up for any other questions, any CD tickets that I can help you escalate or that we can work on.
Management, this is Adrian. Again, if you're interested in those summer readiness, please be in the look for our notices from ISO regarding the Spark K31 and summer readiness deployments. I think they will give you, an insight of our progress and deployments plans probably ahead of that meeting on the 14th.
Thank you, Adrian. All right, any other questions? All right, see you everyone in the next teleconference on June 14th at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thanks, Austin.